Alright guys, what's going on? It's Kage. And welcome to today's video, where today I'm going to be doing my unboxing and first impressions of the Vanguard Premium deck set, which is the Revengers. So, I actually pre-ordered this like 4 months ago, and I got it last night. But I figured, wait to open it till today, because this was the other thing I was looking forward to. If you guys saw my Rotovisor video, which, kind of took off, I'm going to be honest. I expected to get, over 40 views in a week. I said Vanguard really didn't have anything I was looking forward to, but this was one of the things. So, just going over the box extremely quickly, because I know you guys don't care about that. Just looking around the box, this is the sleeve on it, very similar to the Chronojet Stride decks that I opened up last year, or 2 years ago, however long it was. Really nice artwork. Sleeve, comes off. I really like the fact that they have the Shadow Paladin logos on the side, the back. Overall, looks good. I also like the fact that they have the Raging form. It's hard to get all on camera. But opening it up, you get the deck and the... Give me a second. The deck box, which I think looks really cool, and then you can use this for storage, which is what I keep these boxes for. Deck box, Raging form, Shadow Paladin logo, nothing else really to talk about. Super cool. So, let me get the deck opened up here, and then we can talk about the, what I, do I think this is worth the, $50 that they charge? So, I'm just separating it, so this is going to be the G-Zone and all that, and all the other stuff. And then this will be the, so let's get started. So, what you get is 4 copies of Revenger Raging Form Dragon, the original. So this deck uses the Limit Break version, and it even has a Lord, which was a keyword that they introduced back in the Limit Break era. This is before they had the ruling about you could not have different clans mixed together. So the original Raging form was, pretty good at the time. And its skill is Auto Van Limit Break 4, which you have to have 4 damage. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, retire 3 rear guards with Revenger and their card names. Choose up to 1 Revenger Raging Form Dragon from hand, ride it as stand. Choose one of your Vanguards that gets plus 10. So basically, swing with your rear guards. Or you swing a column, swing Boost Van if you have a different, if you had a second Revenger, Raging Form, Limit Break, re-ride. And then Counterblast 1, or when this unit attacks, Counterblast 1, and this unit gets power plus 3. Pretty good. This is your main ride target that you want to see, and that you want to ride because of the crest. Then, moving on to the backup grade 3s, you get 2 copies of Revenger Raging Fall Dragon Reverse. So, this is obviously the reverse form of Raging Form. And I want you guys to tell me in the comments if you've seen the original Limit Break when Ren got reversed by, I think it was Kai. Yes, it was Kai. We never saw Ren as a reversed fighter. So, who do you think his reverse form would have been? Would it have been Raging form, or do you think we would have gotten like an illusionary Revenger, like Mordred Phantom reverse? But Raging Fall says, act Vanguard. Lock a rear guard with Revenger in its card name. Choose 3 of your units with Revenger in their card name, and they get power +5. Auto van once per turn. Sorry about that. My back's kind of killing me. This card's ability is reduced by CB1 for each of your locked cards. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, counterblast 3. Discard 3 cards. Choose up to 2 of your standing rear guards and lock them. If you have 2 or more locked cards or 5 cards in damage, stand this. So, not a bad backup grade 3, I would have to say. Then you get 2 copies of Revenger Drag Ruler Phantom. And Drag Ruler says, when this unit is placed by riding from a unit with Revenger in its name during the ride phase, search your deck for up to 1 Revenger. Call to the rear, shuffle, and then if your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards, Soul Blast 1 Mordred Phantom. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards to deal it a damage. That second part's never going to come up unless you put Mordred. And then when this unit attacks, counterblast Soul Blast 1. Choose all of your front row with Blaster Dark. And front row units with Revenger in their card names. Retire all of your other rear guards. And for each unit retired, all of your front row gets +5 until the end of the turn. If you retire 2 or more rear guards, stand all of your front row rear. This is not a bad card. I feel like you'd only really ride this to get the call and to get the force, but that's about it. And then for the final grade 3, they gave us 2 copies of Revenger Slay Hex Dragon. And Slay Hex says, when this unit is placed by riding from a unit with Revenger in his card name, I do not know why I'm tired today. Counterblast 1, discard a card from hand, search your deck for up to 1 Revenger Raging Form Dragon, ride it as stand, and shuffle the deck. If you wrote a card, choose a Raging, or choose a, Slay Hex from Soul, put it into hand. So this is like a ride fixer. I think, I like it. I really wish they would have given us, like, maybe, instead of this, they would have given us, like, say, 2 more of this. Or, like, as a bonus card, they could have given us, like, a Mordred Phantom, maybe. But that's just my opinion. Alright, moving on to the grade 2s. I am running, not running because technically this is an opening. They gave us 4 copies of Tartu, the V version. And this says, auto when placed on van or rear from hand. Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 or less with Revenger and its card name, call to the rear guard, and shuffle the deck. At the end of the turn, retire the unit. So this just gets us more bodies. This gets us more, like fodder for Raging Form. Next, I am running, or not, oh my god, I'm saying running, I don't know why. But next up is 4 copies of Dark Bless Angel. And Dark Bless says, when this unit is retired from For the cost of your unit's ability, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Revenger in its card name, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to one grade 1 card with Revenger in its name, call it to the rear guard, and shuffle the deck. At the end of the turn, retire it. Overall, really good card. I'm glad to see they gave us 4. It really helps push the the game plan forward. Now here's a reprint I am happy to see. Wily Revenger Mana. This card was so expensive. If you guys saw my deck profile, I want to say it was last year, for my premium Revengers, I remember having to pick this card up, and oh boy, that was not cheap. Like, Mana is a premium Revenger staple. And it says, when this is placed on Van or rear, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, search your deck for up to one grade 1 or less with Revenger. Call it to the rear in the same column as this unit. Shuffle the deck. At the end of the turn, bottom deck it. I wish we got 4 of this. I really, really wish they would have given us 4. Now, I don't know if, I don't think they give you a hollow version at all. I really wish that they did. But still, you're getting 3 of this. This is a very good card. I cannot complain. Then, moving on to the grade 1s. 4 copies of V. Renal. And Renal says, when this unit attacks or the attack and boost, it hits a Vanguard. Look at the top 3. Choose one card with Revenger. Reveal it, put it to hand, and then put the rest on the bottom. And then when this is retired from rear guard by your Vanguard's ability or by your card's ability, Soul Blast 1. Your opponent chooses a rear guard and retires it. So basically, this is just on hit pressure, but still pretty good 4 of. Next is 4 copies of Self-Control Revenger Rakia. Rakia has soul once per turn when you're grade 3 with Revenger. Is placed by riding from a grade 2. Search your deck for up to one grade 1 Revenger, call it to rear as rest, and shuffle the deck. And then the other skill, which isn't really going to come into play here, is act rear, Soul Blast 2, choose a grade 2 with Revenger and its card name from drop, and call it to the rear guard in the same column as this unit. Okay, maybe I was wrong. For some reason, I thought this had to have the grade 2 with it. Rukia, I think it is. But still, pretty good. Then, the final grade 1 is Detecting Revenger Ifei. And Ifei says, act rear, rest this unit, reveal the top 5 cards of the deck, choose a Revenger Raging Form from among them, put it into hand, shuffle. If you don't put a card into hand, choose one of your other units. It gets +2. So this, again, just helps you search out. Then for the starter, of course, it's going to be Fritz. Not really complaining too much. Obviously, Revenger deck, you got to have the Revenger starter. And then, moving on to the triggers. So, of course, they give us the Keter OT, which I don't know if I've seen this in common. I want to say I have, but I don't know. It just looks weird in common. Then, 4 copies of Dagger of Peaceful Passing. I'm going to try to say that last part. This has auto rear GB1 when your Vanguard attacks. Put this into the soul, draw a card, and then one of your Vanguards get +10. I really wish this would have been like, a Grim Revenger, but I can, if I really want it, I can swap it out. It's not that big of a deal. Then 4 copies of the Stride Crit for obvious reasons. 3 copies of the Draw PG because of Elementaria. And 4 copies of the Heal Guardians. So that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the G-Zone, oh, and also the Elementaria, so that makes the 50. Alright, so moving on to the G-Zone, you get the Harmonix Messiah for the Guardian Shield. I know this card was really expensive, so I am glad that this is reprinted in all the Stride deck sets. Or bad, whatever you want to call them. So then I'm just pulling the Holo version up, so this way you have an accurate number. So you get 4 copies of True Revenger Raging Wrapped Dragon. So what this card says is Act G-Zone. If your Vanguard is a Grade 3 Revenger Raging Form Dragon with the Limit Break 4 ability, and you did not get an imaginary gift this fight, choose one or more cards from hand with the grades being Grade 3, Stride this, and then then turn up a card with then G-Flip a Revenger. You get 2 imaginary gift Force, and you get a Revenger Raging Form Crest. So basically this is like the Stride Bearers stuff, but you get a crest out of it. And then Auto Van Limit Break 4 at the end of the battle that this unit attacked. If you have a Heart card with Raging in its name, Counterblast Soul Blast 1, retire 2 rear guards and discard 2 Grade 3 Abyss Dragons from hand. Put this into the G-Zone face up, and then choose one of your face down True Revenger Raging Form Dragons. Raging Wrap Dragon from the G-Zone. Stride it on Van as standing, gets Drive -1. So basically this can just restride itself and it gets you access to the crest. So you get 4 of these. Next, you only get a single copy of Dark Knight something Vert. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. And then it has Act Van once per turn, GB8, Counterblast 1, choose up to 5 of your rear guards, retire them, search your deck for up to the same number of Grade 1 or less as the number of units retired. By this effect, call them to separate rear guards. Call them to rear guard and they get power +15 until the end of turn. Choose up to the same number of your opponent's rear guards as the number of units called by this effect. Retire them, shuffle the deck. So this is the Shadow Paladin GB8. It's not bad, but I don't feel like you're going to go into this too much. Then you get Dark Knight Crouch. And what this does is Act Van once per turn. Retire 2 rear guards. Your opponent chooses 3 of their rear guards and retires them. If they do not retire 3 rear guards until the end of the turn, this unit gets Auto Van once per turn. At the end of the battle, attacked, Counterblast 1. Retire 2 rear guards and stand this unit. And it gets power +10. So, not a bad card. I feel like you're going to have your opponent's board at an emptier state. Like they're going to have 1 rear guard for this to fully work. Then you get Chain Rancor. I still think this is a much needed reprint. This lets you copy your heart card, and then also lets you do a guard restrict. Let me just make sure on that. GB3, if you have 3 or more grade 1s. If your opponent will call cards, the Guardian must call 3 or more. So basically they have to call 3 or more at the same time. So in a way it is a guard restrict, but not in the traditional sense. Still a good card though. Then you get 2 copies of True Revenger, Drag Ruler, Revenant. And this card says act van once per turn, retire a rear guard with Revenger. If you have a heart card with Revenger and its name, search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 or less with Revenger. Call it to the rear guard, shuffle the deck, gets +3. So pretty good. I mean, it's pretty decent. Lets you, call extra stuff. Then you get Drag Principal Morfessa. I feel like this is a Shadow Paladin staple. Then, moving on to the G-Guards, you get Dark Veil Dragon, which auto, when this unit is placed on Guardian, Soul Blast 1, and this gets +5 for every 2 grade 1s in drop. So this has the potential to get to some pretty high numbers. Not as high as it can in my Luar deck, but still pretty good G-Guard. Dark Dragon, Deep Griever Dragon. So this card says, when placed on Guardian, choose up to 5 grade 1 cards from drop, put them on the bottom of the deck in any order. This gets +5. And then if you put 5 or more cards, counterblast 1, and it becomes a perfect guard. So not a bad card, good to recycle your stuff. Witch Queen of Inquirity Gelido. I probably butchered the heck out of the name. And this has auto GB1. When this is placed on Guardian, G-flip a G-Guard. Choose up to 2 grade 1s. Up to grade 1 or less. Move them to the Guardian circle. If you move 2 cards, draw a card. Not a bad G-Guard. Then you get Dark Knight Ludwig. And what this does is, when placed on Guardian Circle, choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards, move it to the Guardian Circle. So, sets up that other G-Guard to put it back. And then you get the Mixed Element Colburn, which I think all of these Stride sets come with this. The Royal, and the Musketeers, which is Neo Nectar. And then it has, when placed on Guardian during the battle that your opponent's Vanguard attacked, discard a card from hand. This gets shield +5,000 until the end of turn for every 2 cards in the opponent's hand. So if your opponent's playing like OTT, this card can be detrimental to them. And then, just to finish it out, you do get the Quick Shield and the Guardian Shield. You get 4 Force 1s with Revenger. You get 4 Force 2s with Revenger on them. And then I just want to go over the crest real quick. So the crest that you get, I do like this artwork, I'm not going to lie. So the crest says, continuous if your heart card is Revenger, Raging Form Dragon with the Limit Break 4 ability. When you would pay the cost for the Limit Break 4 of True Revenger, Raging Rat Dragon on your Vanguard, the cost can be paid with retire 3 rear guards with Revenger and their card names. And then continuous, the original power of your grade 3s. Grade 3 cards with Limit Break 4 abilities become 13, including the heart cards. And then your Vanguard's Limit Break 4 abilities are active even if your damage has 3 or less. So yeah, that is the opening. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to be honest, right out of the box, I feel like this deck has some serious potential. I think with a couple upgrades to it, I think the decks definitely have. I think they can be pretty good. Now I know the Musketeers one is pretty good from what I've been seeing, and I know the Royals one is pretty good as well. But still, I feel like this deck with just a couple upgrades and a couple changes, I really feel like this deck could perform pretty well. Like the main deck, for the most part, is very similar to most of the premium Revenger lists. The only thing I could see cutting would be the Drag Roller Phantoms, and then maybe putting in like a fourth mana if you really want to, or maybe in like a third copy of Raging Fall and a third copy of this guy if you really want to. But overall, right out of the box, I think this deck is going to perform very well. Same thing for the G Zone. The G Zone I feel like is pretty good. There are some changes I would definitely make, but that's not going to be for this video. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.